Have you ever noticed that the loudest person in the room is often the one with the least to say? In the world of personal finance, the loudest statement you can make is driving a brand new luxury car. It tells the world you have arrived, it tells your neighbors you are successful, and it gives you that fleeting hit of dopamine known as the new car smell. But for many, that shiny piece of metal is not a trophy of success. It is a set of golden handcuffs. What if I told you that the fastest way to stay broke is to look like you are rich? There is a group of people quietly building massive wealth by doing something that most people would find embarrassing. They are driving vehicles that look like they have survived multiple wars. They are driving cars with faded paint, minor dents, and basic interiors. And before you judge them, you should know that many of these people have 7 or 8 figures in their investment accounts. My name is your guide on this journey, and today we are going to perform a deep dive into the secret vehicle strategy of the invisible rich. We are going to look at the cold, hard mathematics of why a used car might be your greatest weapon for reaching financial freedom. If you have ever felt the pressure to upgrade your lifestyle, or if you are worried that your retirement fund is not growing fast enough, this is for you. Let us address the most expensive mistake people make between the ages of 40 and 60. The average price of a new car in the United States has climbed to nearly $48,000. Most people do not buy these cars with cash. They sign up for 6 or 7-year loans with monthly payments exceeding $700. Think about that for a moment. $700 every single month for something that starts losing value the second you drive it off the lot. Financial experts call this depreciation, but I want you to think of it as a hole in your pocket where your future is leaking out. A new car loses about 20% of its value in the first year alone. If you buy a $50,000 car, you are essentially throwing $10,000 into a bonfire during your first 12 months of ownership. For someone in their 50s, that $10,000 is not just $10,000. If that money were invested in a diversified portfolio, earning a 7% return, it would double every 10 years. By the time you reach 70, that one single year of depreciation could have been $40,000 in your pocket. Now let us look at the people who actually win the game of wealth. In the famous study of American millionaires called The Millionaire Next Door, researcher Thomas Stanley found something shocking. 81% of millionaires purchased their vehicles used. They did not buy them to impress people they did not like. They bought them to provide reliable transportation at the lowest possible total cost of ownership. These are the invisible rich. They might be your local plumber, an engineer, or even a high school teacher. They understand a concept called invisible wealth. Invisible wealth is the money you have in the bank that no one can see. Visible wealth is the luxury car in your driveway that everyone can see, but that you do not actually own yet. When you drive a reliable older car, you are practicing financial camouflage. You become invisible to thieves. You become invisible to people looking for a handout. And most importantly, you become invisible to the pressure of keeping up with the Joneses. There is a psychological freedom that comes with driving a car you do not have to worry about. You do not stress about a door ding at the grocery store. You do not feel the need to pay for premium detailing every month. You gain back your mental energy to focus on things that actually matter, like your health, your family, and your investments. Let us talk about the math of the beater versus the luxury loan. Imagine 2 people, both age 45. The first person buys a new SUV every 5 years, always carrying a $500 monthly payment. The second person buys a reliable 10-year-old Toyota for $10,000 in cash and drives it for a decade. The second person takes that $500 they would have spent on a car payment and puts it into an S&P 500 index fund. Over 20 years, assuming a conservative 7% return, the person driving the used car would accumulate over $260,000. The person driving the new SUVs would have a pile of old registration papers and very little to show for it. $260,000 is the difference between a stressed retirement and a comfortable one. It is the difference between working until you are 75 or retiring at 62. Now, I am not suggesting you drive a death trap. When the wealthy buy used, they focus on transportation value, not status value. They look for vehicles with a proven track record of reaching 200,000 miles or more. They check the maintenance records to ensure the previous owner took care of the engine and transmission. They understand that a $1,500 repair might feel expensive in the moment, but it is still cheaper than 4 months of car payments. The internet has made this research incredibly easy. You can find reliability ratings in common problem areas for almost any model ever made. You can read forums where owners share their real-world experiences. This is how the smart money operates. They do the homework that others are too lazy to do. They realize that the financing industry has brainwashed the public into thinking in terms of monthly payments. The dealerships want to know what you can afford per month, not what the car actually costs you over its lifetime. When you break free from the monthly payment cycle, you break the chains of modern debt. You start to see money as a tool for freedom rather than a way to acquire more things. This mindset shift is what leads to the 3 tipping points of wealth. The first tipping point is when your investments earn more in a year than you contribute. The second tipping point is when your investments earn more than your annual salary. The third tipping point is when your investments can support your entire lifestyle forever. It is very difficult to reach these tipping points if you are constantly sending your largest checks to a car finance company. Every dollar you spend on a car is a dollar that cannot work for you. And money is the best employee you will ever have. It works 24 hours a day, it never gets sick, and it never asks for a raise. But it can only work for you if you keep it. I remember a conversation with a very successful real estate investor. He owned over 50 rental properties, but he showed up to our meeting in a 15-year-old Ford truck. When I asked him why he did not buy a new Mercedes, he laughed. He told me that his truck cost him $4,000 5 years ago. In those 5 years, he used the money he saved to buy 2 more apartment units. Those units now pay him $3,000 in profit every single month. He said, "My truck did not just get me here, it funded my retirement." That is the sage perspective. It is about seeing the hidden opportunity cost in every purchase. Status is a drug that keeps people poor. The desire to look successful is the greatest enemy of actually becoming successful. True confidence does not come from the emblem on your steering wheel. It comes from knowing that if you lost your job tomorrow, you would be fine for years. It comes from the security of a paid-off home and a robust investment portfolio. As you move into the later stages of your career, your time becomes your most valuable asset. Do you really want to trade another year of your life just to sit in a seat with a specific brand of leather? The people whose opinions you are trying to influence usually do not care about you anyway. The strangers at the red light will forget you in 3 seconds. But your bank account will remember every dollar you ever gave away to look cool. Choose transportation over status. Choose freedom over fashion. Choose to be the millionaire next door who drives a boring car but lives an extraordinary life. Start by looking at your current vehicle. Is it serving you or are you serving it? If you are trapped in a high-interest loan, consider your options for getting out. It might be painful to sell and downshift to a cheaper car, but that pain is temporary. The regret of reaching 65 with an empty nest egg is permanent. Take control of your financial destiny today. Invest in your future self. Your 70-year-old self will thank you for driving that beater today so they can live in peace tomorrow. Wealth is not what you spend. Wealth is what you keep. Be smart, stay disciplined, and let the math lead the way. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on the path to true independence.